What's up, No Barriers? I hope you enjoyed the last activity session. I jumped in on some drumming, which was awesome, and I love seeing Whitney Way Thor answering questions from all of our participants. That was terrific as well. This next 45 minutes is going to be extraordinary. We've got Karamo Brown. We're checking in on that painting. We've got a live musical performance before we get to some activity sessions. So I hope you were able to reboot, fill up your energy levels. There's still so much more to experience today, so stay tuned here. I also hope that you took a moment to check out our virtual booths in the Expo Center. Our sponsors and partners are providing many great resources there, so be sure to check it out and ask any questions in there and find out what's available. So, I know I've mentioned this a few times, but for those of you who may just be joining us this Saturday afternoon, Saturday morning, depending on where you are, I wanted to let you know that American Sign Language, audio descriptions, and captions are being provided throughout the event. You can also use our free live audio description services provided to us by our partners at Aira. Instructions on how to use Aira are located on the main reception page. Well, I'm so excited to introduce you to our next guest. We have an interview with my personal favorite of the Fab Five, Karamo Brown. You probably know Karamo best as what we call the culture and life coach expert from the Netflix reboot of Queer Eye. Karamo is also a 3-time Emmy Award winner and former social worker. Whether as a black man, an openly gay man, a son of immigrant parents, a Christian, a single father, or a former social worker, Karamo strategically utilizes his strengths of his numerous identities to achieve success. And he tries to teach others to do the same. Karamo will be interviewed by Tom Lillig, who is No Barriers Board President, author of the new best-selling book, What's Within You, which is available on Amazon, released this week, and Director of Account Management at Stone Ward. And with that, I'm going to send it over to Tom.
I'm so happy to be here with Karamo. Karamo, thank you for being at the No Barrier Summit.
I'm excited to be here with you, Tom. Thank you so much for having me.
So why don't we just start off with talking a little bit about your career path. Okay. Tell me how you got to where you are right now.
Sure. So I grew up in the South, and television was always my dream, but I am the son of immigrants. And for them, television is not a real career. It is now. But when I said to them first, I want to be in television, they were like, no. We did not come here for you to waste your time. You need to go to college and do exactly what we say. And so I took the traditional path as they asked because I was afraid. And I also allowed their fear to sort of penetrate into me, which is something that I try to help people to understand, is that you have to always be able to separate. What are you afraid of doing something because of yourself, or is it because people have sort of put their fears onto you? And eventually, once I realized it wasn't my own fear, it was something that I had been taught to fear, I left working in social services and decided to start trying to be a television host. And this is when I'm in my 30s. And so a lot of people would say, shouldn't start a career at 30. You shouldn't, don't start over. It's too late. You're too old. Again, more fear-based narratives. And I said, no, I'm not going to listen to that. And so I started to go back to community college here in Los Angeles to get some training on like how to be a journalist. I don't know why. I just figured like, if I want to be a host, you got to learn that. And it was pretty intimidating because now I had already been out of college for many years. And in this little community college class, everyone was 18 and I was like, what am I doing? But I just kept faith in myself that as long as I educated myself, matched that with the drive, and wasn't afraid to ask for help, I would get the opportunities that I wanted. And so I then found my first hosting job, which was the Oprah Winfrey Network. And just kind of started climbing from there. And here we are 6 years later. I'm on Queer Eye and doing what I did before, working in social services, of helping people to feel supported, to talk about their emotional and mental state, and doing the career that I've always dreamed of. And my parents are very, very happy that I didn't listen to their fear-based narratives because they like the gifts they get.
That's great. Well, that sounds like quite the journey,
Yeah.
and it sounds like a lot of hard work along the way. What I was wondering is there any moment from Queer Eye or from your journey that has made you feel like all of that hard work, all of that dedication was worth it? Is there something that stands out to you as being, yes, this is why I'm here. This is what it's all about.
Yes, I have to be honest with you. Every time that I have the opportunity to help somebody and see them tackle a mental or emotional challenge on Queer Eye and see them grow and realize, oh, tomorrow's a brighter day. I can actually achieve the dreams that I've always had. I don't have to be afraid anymore. I can actually communicate with other people. Those are the moments that make me realize that my challenges were worth it, because I think as human beings, we all want connection. We all want to be supported. We all want to know that we are valid, that we belong. And a lot of times you can fall into a space where you feel like no one understands me. I'm alone. And to give people that opportunity, it allows me to know that all the stuff that I went through was for a greater purpose, so that someone else could feel as if they can get over their challenges as well. And I'm a big believer. Don't hide your challenges. Be honest about stuff, because you don't realize that your challenges are what's going to connect you to other people. It's going to make you feel, help other people feel seen. And also together, you start to learn new ways to succeed even more through your challenges. And so I use my challenges every day when I'm talking to people or when I'm having great conversations with individuals like you, Tom.
I love that. I use my challenges every day. That strikes such a chord with me, and is really at the heart of our organization, No Barrier. So thank you for bringing that to all of us. You know, on Queer Eye and probably throughout your entire life, you've met with people of all stripes. You have found a way to connect with them in some way. And, you know, what I found in just watching you is you seem to have this special gift for that. What I'd love to know is there any secret or is there any advice that you can give to finding dialogue or finding connection with people that have a different point of view than your own?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I've learned and that I know to be true is empathetic listening is probably the greatest gift and skill that we can all learn. And what I mean by empathetic listening is most of the times when we go into conversations, we usually already have an ending destination of that conversation. We know where we want this to go, or we are ready to fight our point. So we already know this person's going to say this, and I'm ready to rebuttal with this. And so what happens is that you're never truly listening. You're always on the defense. You're always ready to say something and jump in. Or if someone comes to you and shares their challenges, most of the time, instead of listening, we always are ready just to give them a solution, to tell them what they should do or what they did wrong. And for me, one of the things that I've learned to be true, and the reason that I am so proud to connect with people consistently, is because I just allow people to share without feeling the need to jump in, to interject, or to solve it. And I think when you give people an opportunity just to be heard, then it allows for a better dialogue because they know their point of view was shared. They know there's a respect factor there. And I think in difficult times or when sharing things that could be challenging for yourself, if you allow somebody to come to the conversation and let them share their point of view without interjecting, it makes for a better conversation. Secondly, I always make sure that at the end of a conversation, I say to the person, are you in a space for me to give you advice? Is that what you like? Or did you just need me to continue to listen? Or are you in a space to hear my point of view so we can have a conversation? Because I think people are afraid to see where the conversation should go. They just assume. And again, that's part of not having proper interpersonal skills. It's okay to say to somebody, what do you need from me in this conversation? And what am I able to give to you? Because you might not want or be ready for a dialogue where you can hear my side. Maybe sometimes you just need to vent. And I have to ask myself, am I in a space where you can just vent and I don't get my side? Today I am. Or it might be, you didn't need me to give you a solution. You know, I think about this not just with like hard conversation, but like with my friends. My girlfriends call me and right before they start talking, I'm like, hold on. You need me to give you advice or do you just need me to quiet down and just listen throughout the whole thing? And I allow people to tell me what they need. And I think that's really healthy when coming to communicating with others.
That's great. Well, I'm learning during this interview. Thank you for that perspective. That's
Sure.
wonderful. You know, at No Barriers, we talk a lot about hardships, the hardships that people face, and sort of
Mhm.
leaning into the struggle and embracing that and finding a way through it. You, based on what you've shared with us already and what I know about your background, you have faced some hardships in your life. And what I would love to hear from you and allow you to share with our audience is how you approach hardship, how you approach it, and how you try to find ways to either overcome or harness those barriers and go through it, whether it be from your childhood or whether it be through, things more recently. I'd just love for you to talk a little bit about hardship.
Yeah. So one of the things that I remember and I always tell myself is that when I think of hardships, I think of them as a slingshot. And this is something that everyone listening can do. Envision the challenge that you feel is pulling you back as a slingshot. It's you feel like, oh, it's weighting me down. I'll never get through this. Oh my gosh, no one understands. It's just taking you back. Eventually, when you get to a point that you're ready to ask for help, get support, and also to be patient with yourself and show yourself a little bit more empathy and love, what happens is that this no longer pulls you back. You actually get loose and you soar to your greatness. And so I always think to myself when I'm getting myself pushing myself back, or I feel like the world is pushing me back, I have to think to myself, this is the moment where I now have to say, I need help because I'm pushing myself back or something pushing me back. And I have to remind myself of that visual that if I want to soar, I need support. I need to be patient with myself. I need to be empathetic. I need to learn more. And those things are hard in the moment, especially when you've done this and you feel the tension of everything. But when you let it go and release and say, you know what? Today I'm letting it go. What has happened has happened. I'm going to get a lesson from this. I can't see it right now because I'm still in the forest, but I'm going to get a lesson from this. But let me surround myself with people who love me, who respect me. Let me ask for help and let me be patient with myself. And I keep saying that because a lot of times the reason we feel like our challenges are harder than they are is because we beat ourselves up. We tell ourselves, oh, why did I do this? I'm so this, I'm so negative word, I'm so that. Instead of doing that, just say, you know what? I'm still just a human being. I'm growing, I'm learning. I mean, you would never, ever be cuss at a baby and say, oh, baby, you're so stupid because you didn't know how to say mama and daddy in one formation. So why aren't we giving ourselves that same patience? And so when you make a mistake or something challenging happens in your life, give yourself the patience so that you can ask for help and that know that your journey to soaring, it might be a fast soar or it might be a slow one, but either way, it's okay.
That's great. That's something I could spend some time with. And I think, all of us need to spend more time with that. I've noticed in just sort of listening and following you that one of the things that you always are so great at is checking in with people and where they're at and
Mm-hmm.
where their mental health is in that moment. And you even posted that the other day. But I want to ask you, how are you personally doing today? Or how are you doing this week, this month, with the tragic death or homicide of George Floyd?
Well, thank you for asking. I appreciate that. I'm doing okay, to be very honest with you. You know, as an African American man, unfortunately, I have been exposed to these traumatic events since I was a child. I've been aware of these things happening from friends or family members. You know, most African Americans have experienced this in some form or fashion throughout their lives. And so, unfortunately, when it comes to psychological trauma, you can sort of get numb to things. And so, yet I'm very proud of how invigorated everyone is that we're banding together, that people are actually focusing, that we're coming up with solutions both to be in the streets to educate, but also within legislation. I've been dealing with this for a long time. I've been processing. And so for me, it's a sad day. I never want to see another human being killed in the streets. I never want to see another Black man killed in the streets. But I'm also optimistic that things are getting better. And so what I'm doing with my time is really trying to tell people to check in on their emotional and mental state, make sure they're okay. It's what I do with myself daily. I noticed that a lot of people felt this sort of guilt of like, if I'm not posting about Black Lives Matter, then people are going to assume that I'm part of the problem and that I'm not using my voice. And I think that guilt is unhealthy. I think it's important for people to know that your voice does matter. and we all need to be together, joined as one. But you also have to do what you can, when you can, with the emotional and mental capacity that you have. And if you don't have enough today, it's okay to check out for a day. It doesn't mean that you hate all Black people. And this goes for Black people, it goes for Latino people, it goes for white people. It means that you're taking the time to recover and to build yourself back up so that you can come stronger the next day. Because if you can't lift yourself up, you can't lift anybody else up. And that's the truth of the matter. And so for me, it's about daily checking myself and saying, "Oh, can I lift myself up today? I can't. I need to, I need to watch Netflix and eat some cereal on my couch, and I am fine with that." And then, today has been one of those days where I have felt so empowered, and I have been making calls and, doing everything that I can. And it's important for people just to know that their feelings are valid no matter where they are on the spectrum. And that as long as your heart is true, and that you're taking steps that you can in your own life to support the community, support this movement. I mean, it's a beautiful thing, and that's sort of where I am right now.
That's great. That's great. And you have answered some of that, but I wanted to ask this rather pointedly for not just myself, but for, a large community of non-Black people that are a part of this No Barrier Summit. Is there any advice that you could give to people that are not Black but want to be allies to the African American community? Is there any advice that you could give to us?
Sure. So, I think the first thing is to remember that what the job of an ally is. And the job of the ally is to amplify the voices of someone else and to make sure that their issues, their challenges, their triumphs are being heard to people who might not be in that community. And so, for me, I try to make sure that I am an ally to women, to the deaf and hard of hearing community. And I don't make a move without without doing my own research, without really studying, without trying myself, and then going to my friends who are deaf and hard of hearing. Let's just use that as an example and saying, I just want to make sure I'm about to amplify your voice in this way. Is that okay? What do you need me to do? And it's not so much asking them to educate me because I have the capacity. I got Google. We all got Google. You can educate yourself. But it's about saying, I've educated myself on this. Make sure that I'm educated properly. And now, who do you want me to speak to? What can I do to amplify your voice? And so I would just say to anybody who's not Black, instead of checking with your friends to just say, how are you doing? Ask the question, how can I amplify something that you think is important? And say, what exactly, and is there certain people? Do you need me to be talking to Republicans? Do you need me talking to grandmas? Do you need to be talking to the lady at the grocery store? What do you need me to be doing for you? Do you need me to stand in front of you in a police barrier? That's part of amplifying and supporting someone else. And so that is one of the main things that I would say to do. And then also understand that grand gestures can be small. One of the things, my fiance is white, and I am always like, hey, I would love for you to be out there protesting, but if you can't, a conversation with that one uncle that we all know is just, I don't like throwing around that word racist because, that gets thrown around way too much for me, but somewhere in their DNA, there's a little bit of something you're just like, they said something that hit the middle of your ear and you're like, that's kind of problematic, uncle. And so I just say to him, hey, how about you have a conversation with him today? Instead of ignoring it or not engaging, today, have a respectful conversation. And don't try to solve it all in that one conversation. And I think that's a small step that any person who's outside the African-American race can do. And I think that stands for everyone, what we're seeing now is an example for everything. I'm now having more conversations with people in the LGBT community about hey, we also need to check what's going on in here because there's some prejudice, there is some racism, there is some sexism, there is some transphobia going on within my own community that I'm like, we're not focusing on. So I'm also using the Black Lives Matter movement as a way to amplify Black voices, to support my community, but also it's reminding me in this other community, some stuff's going down. So, hey, buddy, we haven't talked, but I know last week you said some really problematic things about lesbians. Let's just have a chat, and allow conversations to organically happen that are respectful, that are loving, so that you can then start talking to people who are different.
That's great. That's great. And that's an important message. I think that everybody has that uncle in their life, whether it's their actual uncle
Amen.
or someone else.
Yeah, we all do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That uncle,
Yeah.
I don't know. We need a name for the uncles. We got one. We got the Karens. We need a name for that uncle because we all know that
great.
uncle. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So at No Barriers, our slogan, something that means very deeply to us, and hopefully it's something that, we can share with you, is what's within you is stronger than what's in your way.
That's beautiful.
What's within you is stronger than what's in your way.
Don't be surprised if that's on season 6 of Queer Eye. Don't be surprised. I give credit where credit's due, so I will credit No Barriers, but don't be surprised if you see you got a tissue box and you're crying because I'm talking to somebody and you hear me say that. I'm going to say, I got this from my friends at No Barriers. Tom told me this, but I'm just warning you, all right?
That's good. Great. That's great. Well, I appreciate it. It sounds like you're feeling. I was just wondering if there's anything that shows up for you when I say that. When whether it be your own life or someone that you've encountered, is there anything that sort of resonates when I say that?
When we think about what's in me is not. I want you to say it one more time because I'm actually going to be.
What's within you is stronger than what's in your way. Yeah,
I mean that brings up what comes to mind is my life. Because I think that, what I know to be true, not that I think, is I have parts of my identity that people have told me my entire life are not worthy of having the future that I know I deserve. From being Black in the South, from being openly gay, from having immigrant parents, to being religious. These communities have all said, you can't do this. You're never going to get past that. And there has been so many things that have been put my way to say, you can't accomplish that. That's not for you. That's for them, but that's not for you. Or this is what the statistic says about your life. And your life is only as great as a statistic. So, what do you think you're actually accomplishing? And so I always have to remember that there is a strength in me, and there's a strength in my identities, and there's a strength in how I have been perfectly designed by my creator, and I always remind myself that any challenges or anything that I am dealing with, I have it within me to get over them, to be better, to have a better day. But I think the greatest gift that I have in me is the ability to ask for help. And I think that as we get older, we get scared. We don't want to seem as if we're not intelligent, as if we're weak. You fill in the blank with, again, more of these fear-based words. And I always remind myself that even if I can't muster the strength in myself, or I don't know where that strength is in me, I also do have the strength to say, hey, can you help me? Trained professional or friend at work that I really trust, or organization No Barriers, can you support me and help me to remember and find that courage in myself and that strength in myself? And so that's what comes to mind, to be honest with you.
I love that. And, at No Barriers, when we talk about that, reaching out for that person or that organization or that mental professional, we call that building your rope team. And having that rope team is just so important to just making it through. We just can't do it alone.
Amen. Amen. Take them to church, Tom. Let them know. Take them to church, Tom. Let the kids know.
Well, this has been great. Now, can we do our little game show portion? When I was a kid, I watched a lot of game shows on TV, and I was fascinated about, hey, maybe one day I could be the game show host. Well, not.
I see it. I listen, there's still time. You heard my story. You never know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The No Barriers game show host. Maybe that'll be my next calling, right? But I'm going to do some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
You down with that?
I'm down.
All right. Cats or dogs?
Dogs. I got 2.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coca-Cola. I drink way too many, and I'm so embarrassed to say that.
Harry Potter or Twilight or something else?
Harry Potter canceled because, unfortunately, why she had to start being transphobic? Girl, couldn't you just let me enjoy my childhood book? And now it's Twilight, even though I was 29 when Twilight came out. And now
Favorite color?
Deep dark forest green.
Nice.
Yeah.
Favorite member of the Fab Five?
Bobby Burke. The rest of them are going to be, I'm just going to let you know, the rest of them are going to be political and be like, oh, you can't pick a favorite. I love all of them. But, just like siblings, you got your favorite. And it's really because he and I live close to each other. And also, we are the oldest. We're close in age. So when I make a reference about something that happened in 1997, he doesn't turn to me like my baby Jonathan and say, what, when was 97? Like, I'm like, ugh.
He gets you. He gets you.
He gets it.
All right. Human being that you admire the most.
Ooh, human beings would be women, because I think that women are the closest thing we have on this earth to God. And I think that we need to check ourselves and respect all of them, because, again, not to be a traitor to men, but come on now. There is things that women can't do, that women can do, that we can't do, and they are just incredible, brilliant, strong. Human beings are women. I'm also the baby with 4 older sisters and raised by my mom. So my love and respect for women is the human beings that I always look to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. How about phobias? Is there anything that you're afraid of?
Yes, sticky surfaces. That sounds really weird, but like if I go into a restaurant and there's like stickiness and my fiance is standing close by, and he's laughing because like I'll go in and I'll be like, I just start doing this and he's like, okay, we gotta go. But like I usually now bring my own little cleaning thing, because I'm trying not to ruin it for other people, but sticky surfaces, I'm so
Has that been a forever thing, or is that a more recent thing?
Oh, it's been a forever thing. And so, but now that I'm older and I'm realizing that as an adult, I need to try to do better, because I can't be like at restaurants and be like, we got to leave, it's sticky. But so I'm trying to like work through this phobia, and it's real. Like, I mean, like I will start freaking out and hyperventilating if things are sticky. Can't do it. Can't do it.
All right. Best thing about having a fiance?
Someone that I trust wholeheartedly. I mean, trusting someone with your good moments and the more challenging moments, and knowing that they're not going to judge you and they're going to be there to be a shoulder, just to be supported on, or, to cry on or laugh on, but also can give you advice, is a really good feeling. And I wish everyone in their life someone that they can wholeheartedly trust.
Yeah. That's so true. Best thing about being a dad?
Them turning 18 and leaving the house. I'm gonna tell you, all parents out there, they're lying if they say I when they moved out and got their own apartment, I did do a little cry, I will not lie, but then I was like, hold on, I get my house back, I can actually leave something in my fridge, and when I come back, it will be there. No one's going to be marking up my walls or anything. And so I'm being sarcastic. That's not the best thing, but it is a good thing. I think the best thing about being a parent would be seeing them explore the world. And like there's things that you forget as you get older, that curiosity is the best gift we have, and I've been given, to be curious about the world, because we get into routines. I don't know what happens. Somewhere between 1st and 6th grade, everyone says, be curious, color, try everything. And all of a sudden they're like, nope, no more. You only have to pick one job. You have to go this direction. And through my kids, seeing their curiosity for the world makes me more curious. It makes me want to try new things. And so that's the greatest thing about being a parent for me. And then when they moved out.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so many people binge on Queer Eye. What is your favorite thing to binge on?
Ooh, I don't know. I binge a lot of shows, so that's hard to. I just finished Game of Thrones. I was like 2 years late. I'm sorry. I didn't watch it once throughout, and now I watched the entire season in a matter of 4 weeks. We just finished like a week ago. What else are we binging right now? There's a cartoon called The Avatar: The Last Airbender, and my fiance just nicely let me know that I did just binge that. And it was very interesting when my sons and his friends were coming in the house and their father was watching cartoons. But I enjoyed it. I have binged Queer Eye, even though I'm on it, and not in a weird way. Like anytime, like I just kind of need feel good TV, I watch Queer Eye. I usually fast forward through my parts because I don't like seeing myself on TV. And so I watched the other guys. So yeah.
That's great. And do you have a favorite episode?
Oh yeah. Again, the other guys will tell you, I can't do it. You can't pick your favorite. I have one favorite from every season. This season, I think my favorite would be Marcos. It's a gentleman who, no. Rihanna. Rihanna is my favorite. If you're watching season 5, she's the second episode. She's a African-American woman who's starting her own business, and she just needed a push in the right direction. She lost trust of herself, and she didn't know she could do the business. And part of that trust was because the business got hard, but also her relationship with her man was hard, and she just deserved all the success she got. Season 4, a gentleman by the name of Wesley was my favorite. He was a gentleman that was, he's a person who's disabled, and I got him back with the person who shot him, and they had a heartfelt conversation, which there was so much healing and growth. Season 2 is Mama Tammy. Season 1 is let me see, who's season 1? Tom Jackson. He was the sweet old man that said, you can't fix ugly. Oh my gosh, my heart melted when he said that. And so that's all. I think, did I skip a season? I don't know. I might, but that's some of my favorites.
That's great. That's great. Well, yeah. I think we'll get a lot more downloads right after this. People will be going out, making sure that they see those ones again and again.
Yeah.
All right. So favorite book. This is our last question. You have a favorite book?
Yeah, the book, and this is not self-promotion, but it actually right now has been something that I've been really proud of, which is, it's a book that my son and I wrote, which is called I Am Perfectly Designed. And it was a mantra that I used to tell him as a child because he got bullied a lot. His parents didn't have money. His father was gay, and people used to tell him that he could not see the world. He'd not explore the world. Again, all of those negative messages that we all get from people who think they're being good or people who are consciously being spiteful. And I just reminded him every day that he is perfectly designed to have the life he wants, to be the person he wants to be. He never has to be ashamed of who he is, that everything that he feels is other people make fun of are his gifts. It makes him beautiful. It makes him unique. And it's just a message that no matter if you're 4 years old or 40 years old, 7 years old or 7 years old, you can remind yourself that I am perfectly designed just the way I am. And that perfect design is going to get me the life that I deserve.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. Well, now I know what book I'm going to read next. That's perfect. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
And just a little self-promotion for you. You will be one of the first people to receive the book that we just created for No Barriers. Dave and I just wrote a book, and it's launching now. And I will try to hand deliver it to you after all this COVID is crazy.
Yes, I can't wait. Seriously, make sure. I can't wait to read it.
Yes, I will get it to you right away.
Yes, thank you.
Well, this has been such a treasure for me, and I know it has been for all of the No Barriers community. So thank you so much for spending some time with us and giving us your perspective. Whenever I watch Queer Eye and I see the common grounds that you find with people that are entering in from a different perspective, I just think to myself, this is what I need to learn more of. This is what our community needs to learn more of. And I think if we all can start trying to speak our truth and find a way to live in this world together the way that you demonstrate so many times over and over again, a much better place, free of racism, free of prejudice, and hopefully a lot more joy and a lot more peace.
Tom, you better preach. Listen, when you open up, you're going to be a game show host and a preacher. Just let me know when you open up the congregation so I come sit front row, okay? I agree with everything you said, and I say amen to all of it.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. You've been such a great guest, and I'm so happy for our No Barrier Summit to have Karamo with us. So thank you again.
Thank you, friend.
Oh my goodness, I loved that conversation. Thank you, Karamo. Thank you, Tom. What a wonderful message to receive at this time. I think now more than ever, we have to let the differences between us actually unite us and make us stronger. I loved what Karamo had to say about being an ally. No Barriers is very much about building that rope team around you and showing others support. There were so many wonderful messages in there. And of course, I'm so excited to see if Karamo actually does a shout out for the "What's Within You is Stronger Than What's in Your Way." That's on my shirt here. That would be incredible. Thank you so much, Karamo, again, and thank you, Tom, for all the lessons that you have brought to this No Barriers community. It is such a pleasure to have you, even if only virtually this year. Well, I think that John must be pretty close to finishing up his painting. So we're going to bring him back live from Texas and check in on how's it going. How is it going, John?
Hey, Dave. I'm getting ready to put the final touches on this custom No Barriers painting. I just have a few more details to do. Let me try to show it to you. It's always a bit of a struggle with the webcam because it's not going to see a lot of the details. But I need to put some more. I'm starting to work on the body. And let me see. And the face, so I'm going to work a little bit more on the face, get some more of those details in. And adding bright colors all over the place. So in the sky, I'm not sure if you can see it, but I'm painting in a beautiful sky. And I'll try to get a better picture of it so we can see it better later. But I can't wait to share the final results with all of you. And I look forward to seeing you tonight at No Barriers Live. Well, Dave, back to you.
John, that's amazing. I love the detail coming to life, the color popping off, and love hearing kind of what you're going to be doing next. And as he mentioned, we will be seeing that final piece at the No Barriers Live at the end of our show today. So don't forget, you could be the proud owner of that painting. We are going to be auctioning this off starting tonight at No Barriers Live. Well, up next, we have one of our longest participating No Barriers ambassadors, Mandy Harvey. You all remember Mandy as the finalist in America's Got Talent Season 12, an extremely talented, amazing singer, songwriter, musician, and friend, and an aspiring magician, too. You heard a few of her songs yesterday and a bit of her story. I'm pleased to introduce this amazing woman to you again today. Let's let Mandy Harvey take it away. Mandy?
Hello again, everyone. My name is Mandy Harvey, and I'm thankful to have another opportunity to hang out with you and to share with you a little bit of my No Barriers story as well as some more music. I have a huge appreciation and love for this organization because they have changed my life in so many different ways. One of the things that not a lot of people know about me is the reason why I started writing music was not because I felt this overwhelming feeling that I need to just dump this stuff out of me. It was because of a conversation that I had with Eric Weinmeier. I was starting to become a part of the organization, and I was excited because I was seeing all these incredible people who are breaking down barriers in their own lives and asking tough questions. And I realized pretty quick that barriers are real, but the biggest barrier of my life is that I have always been too afraid to really try and do things. And so having a conversation with Eric, it was just a friend talking to a friend, and he asked a very specific question. He said, "Why are you not writing your own music?" I had never thought about it before. I thought that songwriters are just born. You wake up and you just know that you just have to write music and it just oozes out of you. I didn't think that I was born with that natural ability to write music, so I never really put it in my mind. But then after losing my hearing, it seemed even farther away of a possibility. It's weird enough when you're singing a song that other people know and you know from the past that it's a good song, there's a little bit of a confidence there. When you're singing a song that no one has ever heard before, that's a leap of faith. That is terrifying. And that's what I said to Eric. I was like, that's terrifying. And he said, "What's the worst that can happen?" And then he just walked away. It seemed very silly of a conversation, very short, and I thought about it and I thought about it and I thought about it and I thought about it. And I realized that I allowed fear to control so much of my life for such a long time that I've stopped trying a lot. And what's the worst that could happen by writing a song? I truly don't know. I have yet to see a person explode because the song wasn't good enough, or if I sing the wrong note, or somebody doesn't like my voice, who cares? So what's the worst that can happen? Not much. But changing my perspective later, I have started to think instead, what's the worst that can happen? What's the best that can happen? What's the best that can happen by me showing up and trying something new? What's the best that can happen by me putting myself out there and not being so afraid? A lot. So I dared to write a song. And one of the first songs that I wrote was a song called Try. And it's connected with the No Barriers mantra, which is what's within you is stronger than what's in your way. Thinking about what's in my way, knowing that what has always been the biggest barrier of my life, me holding myself back, me telling myself I'm not good enough, it's always been me. That I'm tired of having that be true. I'm tired of letting my life pass me by when I have so much love and so much encouragement to give. So, what's the best that can happen? A lot. I decided to write this song, and I never thought that other people were going to ever hear it. And then soon I was put on a stage of America's Got Talent to perform a song, and the only song that I wanted to perform was this one, because this was the story. These were the people who helped me open my eyes, love myself, and dare to do scary things. And my hope for AGT and my hope for this song was that it would encourage one person to maybe see that it's okay to fail, that you have the ability to get back up and try again, or to smile, or to start a conversation, or to just see a different perspective of what a disability looks like, to say that we judge each other so quickly and so fast. What's the best that can happen? A lot. I don't feel the way I used to. The sky is gray, much more than it is blue. But I know one day I'll get through, and I'll take my place again if I would try. If I would try. Oh, I don't love the way I need to. You need more, and I know that much is true. So I'll fight for our breakthrough, and I'll breathe in you again if I would try. If I would try. Oh, there is no one for me to blame, because I know the only thing in my way is me. You will know how it feels to be right where you're supposed to be, where all I see is you holding me forever. As the day keeps on going, on my face all my thoughts are showing. Can you see it in my eyes? I'm calling you to a brand new life, where all I see is you holding me forever. All I see is you holding me forever. Day by day we'll journey on through the storm and through calm. Day by day we'll find a way together. 'Cause all I see is you holding me forever. All I see is you holding me forever. All I see is you holding me forever. Thank you. So I wanted to do one more song with you guys, but I wanted to ask for you to help. I am such a big fan of audience participation, so let's go. I would assume that most of you know the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Yes? Fantastic. I know that you do. It's one of the #1 most popular songs in the world. And so for me, having that connection where people can come together as a community is just incredibly special. So in doing so, I thought one of the best ways we could do that is to sign it together. So let's get started, shall we? I know you can be a little afraid, but I promise you it's a lot easier than you think, and I'm not expecting you to learn an entire language in one day. So anyway, so we're going to start with Somewhere Over the Rainbow. So you're going to take your pointer finger and shake it back and forth, kind of like a, no you didn't. Somewhere, you're going to do a 4 and a 4, and we're going to draw a rainbow over the rainbow. Somewhere over the rainbow. You're going to take 2 peace signs, and we're going to start on a horizon, and we're going to look up towards the sky, way up high. So somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. Now we're going to draw our land out. There's a land that I've heard of. And we're going to take our pointer fingers to our thumbs and make kind of looking like little birds. And we're going to whisper them near our ears. That means gossip. There's a land that I've heard of once in a lullaby. Once in a music baby lullaby. See, not so bad. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue. Now we're going to make this hand shape. So it's just your pointer fingers. Your thumbs are covering everything up. Everything else is in a fist. This hand shape, we're going to use a lot. So we're going to put one up in the corner, and then that's going to be your dream. And then the other one is you. And so what you're going to do is you're going to work towards that dream. And the dreams that you dare to dream, keep that hand shape, really do come true. Yeah. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue. Dream, and the dream that you dare to dream really do come true. Awesome. Someday, so I will in the future, someday I'll wish upon a star. It's back to that hand shape, upon a star. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where my clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops, way above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, blue birds fly. So now this is your little bird. He can fly anywhere. So you're just kind of bending your pointer finger and letting him go wild. So if you want him to only fly over here, he flies over here. You want him to fly in circles, you go for it. So blue birds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why? Then a why can't I? You ready to give it a try? It's gonna be fun. You've got this. No worries, no judgment. Okay. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I've heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue. Don't forget our dream. And the dream that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why? Then why can't I? Bonus. If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I? So proud of you. Woo! You did such an amazing job. Thank you guys so much for being a part of that. It's very special to me, and I hope that you're enjoying the No Barriers Virtual Summit, and I will see you in a little bit later.
Thank you, Mandy, for that bonus. That was amazing. I know we all have our activities to go to. Don't forget Cody Lee is coming on, and we've got a great final show to prepare for you. But I'd also like to remind you to text. I think the text number is going to come up here, 6469562648. If you enter a donation amount and send that text off, you'll be contributing to our ability to provide events like this for many years into the future. So I'll expect to see you all back here at the main stage at 2:45 Central Time. In the meantime, go enjoy your activities and see you soon.